Making sure this thing is started. All right. So, here is for the Smith Falls Gym and Fitness Center. We're going to do an of the current accessibility and optimization, and then recommend ways that they can make it better. The primary users for the site is someone looking to join, shape, or stay fit. Primary users are probably between the ages of 25 and 45, both male and female. And since gyms cost money, they most likely have decent paying jobs and probably have a university or college degree or diploma. For the site are most likely gym users who already are in a gym but are looking for another gym range of fitness classes or a gym that is more affordable than the one they're currently in. Those two groups would be the main users for the site. But if there is a tertiary user, fitness coaches, instructors, or personal trainers looking for a gym they would like to apply for a job. The primary goals for the users coming to this website is to see the cost of membership, perks, and what the perks are of being a member at this gym. They probably also want to know the fitness classes offered at this gym and know who the coaches are and what their qualifications are. So here, I'll show you how to do this. First, we're going to find the cost of membership. So just looking at the site right now, I would assume you want to press the program and memberships. And we'll wait for it to load. So here is the programs and pricing. Great and stellar people will make coming to Smith Falls Gym Fitness Center one. So this is what I see here, and it says click for a full schedule and membership pricing. So that I do. So here it wants to take me a PDF. Great. Because I asked to download anything. Like it should, on that button, it should say, it doesn't, and that's what it does, and it's taking an awfully long time, as you can see. As we wait for that to load, we'll go to here. It tells you about the open gym. It tells you about their class boot camp babes. Sorry, my computer's frozen now. This is a PDF it gives you. Buns and guns. This is for the boot camp babes. Duo, back and shoulders. Free with membership, group training included in membership rate. Training on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, lifting club, and Thursdays. And they have boot camp with Coach Zach. See, it would be beneficial, obviously, if it was styled better, if they actually put this into the website instead of having it an external PDF, or have both, like so that a user can download if they want to, or if they just want to look at it on their website, that's too. So here it shows group training. We'll exit that because it's apparently slowing down my computer. Barbell club. And then finally here we get to the membership. So I like this, it looks nice, but when I hover over it, I would like it, well, I expect this to move over. Like, I don't expect it to just stay there. Like, these should be hoverable. I also think clickable, so it takes you to a description of what the benefits are for each package. Like, why would I pay $365? I know I'm going to save a few dollars, but like, honestly, I'm probably not going to go to the gym. If I'm just starting it, I'm probably not going to go to the gym like every day. So like, is there a drop-in fee? And next we want to find out, we covered the, like, where the courses are and the membership, like the prices, the classes, and now we want to see what coaches are and what their qualifications. Well, by this up here, I would just assume that it would be an about. Every user is going to assume that. Maybe that says coaches as well as one that's about the gym itself. So here it's our team. And then it shows a picture, the name, title, and then a description and their qualifications. So I like this setup. Like, probably easier to read if the font was a little bit bigger, but yeah, it's nice. Other pages before we move on here. They have a blog. They do posts, not that often, obviously, because the last one was from November 8th, which they should be updating regularly. The contact form here, I don't really like the layout of this. Columns, I think it's very squished and unpleasing to the eye. Done each of these in different rows. Columns. Try this free. I get that like, they're trying to promote, like, get people to come to their gym by giving things away, or allowing people to go for free for, I assume, a day. Or they get you, if you want to try the gym free, they make you fill out a form. You have to enter your name, your email, why you're filling out this form, your experience, your fitness experience level, your fitness goals, and anything else that you would want them to know about you. All right. So because of the way people use mobile devices to look up everything nowadays, I'd say the majority users would likely be desktop, laptop, or a mobile device when accessing the site. The main reason I say these devices will that these devices will be used is because, like I stated, users look everything up on their mobile devices because they're more convenient to use. That's the way this generation is. I also say desktop and laptop because I don't know if everybody prefers it this way, but I find a lot of people prefer looking at websites like this on a desktop because it's easier to read the information, and sometimes information is on a mobile version of a desktop, or not on a mobile version of a website. So as for the current usability, honestly, like, for the usability, accessibility, and optimization, I probably wouldn't say there's anything currently good. Like, in their backend code, they don't have any they have meta tags, but they have a lot, and like some that are pointless. Like keyword tags, like you don't need that anymore. They don't have any ARIA tags or any roles set, which those are good for like screen readers or people using keyboards and stuff. The website overall isn't, like, just looking at it, it looks okay. I mean, the type could be bigger. Not great. So a way they could, we'll start with improving optimization tags. So I ran this site through this web page or optimization performance result, or optimization performance test. And what it does, it tells you, well, here, it automatically runs the test 3 times. And it gives you the load time. And then once it's fully loaded. So the total, or the fully loaded time is like 10.5 seconds, which is kind of ridiculous for a website. Which time is 10.3 seconds. It makes 70 requests to the server, or 76 requests to the server, in 4,614 kilobytes. The first byte is at 9.58 seconds, and the site doesn't actually start rendering for 2 seconds. So if we go to, here is an actual breakdown of what is taking so long in the site. So blue is HTML, yeah, orange is JavaScript, green is CSS, purple is images, red is fonts, and gray is others. So as you can see, as we go through, the HTML for for nearly the entire site loads in less than 1.5 seconds. Here you can see CSS is taking quite a bit of time. Like this one is nearly 2 seconds to load. Another thing that's taking long, as you can see, images take the most time to load. Like the longest loading images is like 5.3 seconds. Images should not take that long. If possible, use SVG images. Resize your images properly in a photo editing software and save them for the web so that you can have low file sizes, because that's probably why it's taking so long, is the file size is large. This green line is when it first starts rendering, and that's like when it first starts rendering, almost 4.5 seconds. That's a long time for the web page to take to render. And look at the bandwidth, it's crazy. So this is just a squished version of it, not waterfall. It's all squished so that you can see it not as well. You can't see as well what is taking up so much time, but it's still all there. So next we're going to go improving usability techniques. So I run the site through 2 usability tests on the back, one for the back end stuff, and then one for the contrast of the page. I ran it through Wave. I don't know if this is going to load in time. I'm not going to open it. So I ran it through Wave. And it just looking at the website by running, you can see like things like this. This is for people who have bad eyesight, or not even people who bad eyesight, like people who perfect eyesight. This can be hard to read. It's small font, small gray font on a gray background. Same with down here. Like this is less than 12 points. Font should not be less than 12 points. It's too hard to read for a web page, especially like if you're on a mobile device. You're not going to be able to read that. This, like, first off, the black on the pink is bad enough as it is, but then when you hover over it, it's pretty much red on pink, and that's just awful. Make your letters bigger, choose different colors. For the blog here, we'll go. Buttons like this should be avoided, where they're read more or click here. Scanning through the site, it's not going to catch their eye, and it's not going like, don't use generic labels like click here or read more, because they're hard to tell apart from different content of the page when a user's just scanning. Because this is a blog section, I mean, it's obviously not that big of a deal, because obviously if somebody's reading something, they're going to know to click that button if they want to continue reading that story. But consider labeling it like continue reading, or just name it like continue reading story, or continue reading post, or something like that, or even name it continue reading name of article or name of post. So on this usability test, the second one I ran, not Wave, I ran it on Power Mapper. So here, we'll go to usability here. So the main issue was to quickly look at each link and tell where it goes. So that was what I was saying about the more buttons. So that was a priority 1. Priority 2, they're issues, but they're not like as big issues as priority 1 and say priority 3. So here it says, don't use fonts only available or Windows, or vice versa. The following fonts are available on both Arial, Area Black, Comic Sans. Don't use Comic Sans. And then it lists a few more. If you need to import fonts, use Google Fonts. You've admitted width and height attributes, which will cause to jump around the page while the image loads, and you don't want that. So just by adding height attributes in the image tag in the code, it'll stop that from happening because it'll automatically set the width and height. Also, on that note, make sure you're setting your width and height to the same width and height of the actual image, because scale and distort, which will make your image look grainy, or it'll make it look squished or stretched, and you don't want that. So if you need to, edit the image in a photo editor, resize it, save it to the web, and then use it in your project or on your website. This was a good one. I found that the website is kind of content rich, so you should probably provide a search option, and if you decide to, it should be on every single page that it is necessary. The user shouldn't have to go back to the home page to use the search button to search something on somewhere else on the site. It should be available wherever they are on the site. Also, another suggestion is on some of the longer pages, for some of the longer pages, add short clickable list of sections at the top of the page, like just like that'll jump down to different sections of the page, like it'll explain. It's not mandatory in this site because it's not a huge site, but it's something to think about. Also, think of adding a back to top button. This will help with usability. When users are scrolling through the site, they don't want to have to scroll all the way back to the top just to get back to the nav bar to go to the next page. So if you put that button there, they can just click it and it's easy. It'll take them right to the top. Labels are important. There are multiple pages that have input fields that don't have labels. These are good for screen readers or users that are using keyboards. It helps them know what they're supposed to input in that field. One suggestion is also, instead of using like the banner image is all a link, instead of doing that, just let the button be the link, because if somebody accidentally clicks, they're going to be annoyed that they get taken somewhere else. Another suggestion this page makes is that use radio buttons instead of if there's less than 6 items. So, oh, sorry, it's on page. So I don't think it's necessary. It's just a suggestion. There's only 3 items. You could use you could use radio buttons as opposed to a drop-down menu. Apparently, usability studies have shown radio buttons give reliability. Give reliably better performance than a drop-down list. Which I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, like, if you click I've had experiences where I've clicked drop-down menus and whatever's in the drop-down menu that doesn't show up. I've never had that problem with radio buttons. Excuse me. Next is so next we want to improve accessibility techniques. Again, I ran this site through Wave. This is this performance test. Wish it would load. Oh, we can get out of that now. There. All right, awesome. Okay. So I ran it through this. It's gonna load again. I ran it through Wave. Whenever it loads, it'll show you. It checks the accessibility of the website. This does it page by page, and I'm not going to go through every single page with you, but different. It shows alerts. It shows like errors and accessibility warnings. But say initially, before I did this, so we'll go to the home page. I tried type without using my mouse. So here we're going to try this now. We're going to click on this page and make sure we're actually on the site. So here I'll just start at the top. So here, I'm going to click it here. So you can see the little dinky blue box around the Facebook icon, around the logo, and then after that, I don't know where it is. So you know that just flipped. So you're on that. Now where am I? But still, where am I? And until you get to a link in the page, you don't really know that you're on something. But you can assume I'm on that button. Right. Like doing this, it's not easy to tell where you are. Like I can assume by guessing how many times I've clicked it that I'm on the blog page. Navigating through this, like, it's over here. Like you don't notice it unless you're really looking for it, and then sometimes you can't even see it at all. Like I think I just went through the site. See, this is ridiculous. It's going to go through every post in here. It should be set up to skip this. On the wave of accessibility, you go here, you punch in your URL. It gives you errors, alerts, features, structural elements. Okay, ARIA that you've done, structural elements that you've done as well, and then contrast errors, which is what we use for the contrast errors in improving the usability of the site. So here you can see, this is for the homepage only. The green is good. Alt tags were used. So you don't want to see little red elements on your page. Or even yellow. I mean, you can avoid yellow. If you can avoid yellow, then do it, because it's better off that way. Okay, so I'm not going to go through every page on here, but I'll tell you there were 33 errors total. This means these are problems that absolutely should be fixed because they cause severe damage to your website's accessibility. So there were 20 missing form labels. So the problem is a form control does not have a corresponding label. If a form control does not have a properly associated text label, the function of or the purpose of the form control may not be presented to screen reader users. Form labels also provide visible description and larger clickable target for form controls. A solution to this problem: if a text label from a form control is visible, use the label tag element to associate it with its attribute to the form control, or reference the labels using ARIA labeled by. Labels are not required for image submit reset button or hidden form controls. For the site, there were 9 empty links. A link contains no text. If a link contains no text, the function or purpose of the link will not be presented to the user. This can introduce confusion from keyboard and screen users. The solution is to remove the empty link altogether, or provide text in the link that describes the functionality or the target of the link. You have missing alt text. Image alt text is not present. Each image must have an alt attribute. Without the alt attribute, the content of the image will not be available to screen reader users, or when the user or when the image is available, they'll have no idea what it's supposed to be. The solution is to add an alt attribute, a descriptive alt attribute to every image. It should accurately and succinctly present the content and function of the image. If the content of the image is conveyed in the context or surroundings of the image, or if the image does not convey content or have a function, it should be given empty, an attribute of null, slash null, or empty or null. 2 linked images are missing alt text. An image without alt text results in an empty link. A linked image without alt text results in an empty. Images that are the only thing within a link must have a descriptive alt text. If an image is within a link that contains no alt text, the image does not provide alt text does not provide alternative text. A screen reader has no content to present the user regarding the function of the link. You should make sure every image, whether it's a link or not, has alt text. That's the best way to get the best accessibility out of your site. Was an empty heading, one empty heading. Users, especially keyboard and screen reader users, often navigate by heading elements, and an empty heading element will present no information and may introduce confusion. Ensure all headings contain informative content. So that was it for errors. So we have 36 alerts. Alerts are just things that have the potential to cause damage to your website accessibility, but your site can still function with these problems. There are 6 skipped level headings. A heading level is skip. A heading level provides document structure and facilitates keyboard navigation by users of assistive technology. These users may be confused or experience difficulty navigating, sorry, when heading levels are skipped. You can solve this problem by restructuring the document headings. So you go through heading 1 through 6. If in this case they didn't use a heading number, but number 4, I guess. And this website here is testing or telling that could be a potential problem. You have 2 orphan form labels. A form label is present but is not correctly associated with its form control. It means you can properly associate the label with its corresponding form. If there's no corresponding form control, remove the label. Labels are appropriate for images, submit, reset, images, buttons, or hidden form controls. So in the code, it should be the for attribute for, and then the ID of the input element. So one missing field set. A group of checkboxes or radio buttons is not included in a field set. A field set provides a visual structural grouping of related form elements. It's typically necessary for grouping checkboxes and radio buttons, where higher level description, called a legend, is necessary to understand the function of the checkboxes and radio buttons. The solution is to determine whether grouping of checkboxes or radio buttons has or needs text that explains the purpose of the checkbox. So in this case, it would be for, I believe, the Try Us Free page. Okay, yeah, it's here. So here it shows the problems, like, this is what it's talking about. If you use a text field for this, so this said, or sorry, field set for this, and this would be the label, and that would group all these together. So there's 6 no-script elements. A no-script element is present. Content with no-script is presented if JavaScript is disabled. Because nearly all users have JavaScript enabled, no-script cannot be used to provide an accessible version of inaccessible script content. The solution to this is to ensure that all script content is accessible. The no script content will be presented to very few users, but must be accessible if used. So there are 6 JavaScript jump menus. That's just saying that the navigation here jumps down like that. The code on the back end could be a problem. So it says the solution to this is if the onChange event handler triggers a new web page element, the JavaScript jump menu, and allow the user to change the selected menu, then activate an adjacent button to trigger the new page. Which isn't really necessary here. There's probably a better way. Instead of using a jump menu, they probably could have vanilla JavaScript or not a plugin to do that. Yeah. So, like I mentioned on the programs and membership page, warnings on the Wave site was a link to a PDF download or a PDF document. It says, unless authorized with accessibility in mind, PDF documents often have accessibility issues. Additionally, PDF documents are typically viewed using a separate application or plugin and can thus cause confusion and navigation difficulties. Click this, it automatically jumps to a new tab, and it shouldn't do that. Like, here we want to ensure the solution to this problem is to ensure the PDF document is natively accessible. Additional information that the user that the link will open a PDF document, because PDF documents may have limitations in accessibility, particularly for complex content, and require a separate program. HTML content should often be in place of an additional, and in place of or in addition to. So what it's saying is basically that whatever is in this PDF document should already be, the gist of it should already be or typed into the HTML and on the website. With them, this button should be download the schedule or keep it on file. So that allows them, if they want the PDF, they can click it, not having to click the PDF just to see. So the next warning is 8 redundant links. Let's go to the same URL when adjacent links. So there are redundant links on, like this page here, try us free. Try us free, try us free. It all goes to the same page. Instead, maybe this try us free and the open gym. You should go to open gym, a page about the open gym, explaining just about the gym, or don't even have that try us free there. Same with this one. Go into a page where it goes more detail about group training, or just don't have that there. Instead, they could have a button that stays with us. Try us free, because they're all going to the same page. It's not like each individual button is going to a different page. They're going to the same page. Another problem is the suspicious link text. That's the text on the blog where it says read more. It just means that you should avoid using that click here, read more on your page. And that's it for that site. Those are the ways that this site can be improved. Thanks for listening.